What's going on, guys? My name is Jesse and welcome back to my channel. Normally we do book and movie reviews, but today we're going to do something a little bit different just to kind of get some content up on my channel, just because I'm trying to work through these books and get these reviews out to you guys. Today we're going to do a reaction video. It's going to be Everything Great with Suicide Squad from Cinema Wins. The link for the video will be in the description. I love this channel. It's definitely one of my favorites, right up there. I love Cinema Sins as well, which is like the antithesis of this channel. We're going to jump right into it because it is a long video, so let's get it. Alright. God, I love those title cards, man. Love those title cards.
Love it or hate it, the neon aesthetic sets this film apart in the genre.
Yeah,
Will Smith's
love
workout
it.
routine. Again. Although last time he had
Fucking
a
Will
lot of
Smith
carbs,
is
so.
jacked, bro. Jesus.
You've gotta love all the classic music used in this film. They spent a crap ton of money on this soundtrack. For me, it's not jarring.
$1 million soundtrack, for sure.
Or scene.
You know the rules, hotness.
I've gotta give Ike Barinholtz a win. Every time he opens his mouth and is not Morgan Tukers, I'm impressed.
He's so
Margot
creepy,
Robbie
bro.
embodies Harley Quinn right from her first scene.
Yeah.
The use of neon with stretched and distorted footage to illustrate the inside of Harley's mind is fantastic. Spoilers! Good thing we all saw and loved Batman v Superman, eh? Right?
Hey, I loved it, bro. I'll watch it again right now.
Paid handsomely, but good for you, Batfleck. A more prideful man wouldn't have done a cameo just to give your universe legitimacy.
Yeah.
And this is the introduction of this film's main theme. I mean, obviously he's not going to shoot his daughter. But there's more going on with Deadshot's character arc that starts right here with what he does as much as with what he doesn't say.
Right. He's scared to say I love you too. He doesn't think he deserves it.
I live for these moments with you.
Another consistent motif is how the edges of songs playing in her flashbacks speed up and slow down, messing with our sense of reality as much as hers.
Yeah.
I mean, who's not gonna fall for that beautiful face? I'll probably catch some flack for this, but Jared Leto is always a win. Jordan Catalano won our hearts, and then Harry Goldfarb broke them.
Yeah, I love Jared Leto too. He's a great Joker. I don't know why he gets so much goddamn hate.
Good on you for putting Harley in the Jester costume, and even better on you for not keeping her in it.
Yeah, I'm so glad they
Clearly
didn't
not
keep
played
her
the
in
same
that,
way it does in
man.
the cartoon. But we appreciate the nod.
Pardon?
Come on, she said it, and it didn't suck. How did she make it not suck? Margot Robbie took a cartoon comic character and made her real. Who knew Batfleck was going to prove to be the coolest Batman?
Fucking love Batfleck, man. God, Ben Affleck's the man, bro.
This is a comic book movie with comic book rules. And a great showcase of how crazy Harley actually is. Instead of, you know, trying to escape, she plays dead to get a stab at
Right.
Batman, where gender equality takes on a whole new meaning. I also feel the need to point out that since this flashback takes place before
The whole theater went crazy when he punched her in the face. Everybody was like, what the fuck is that?
And even tries to revive her.
Yeah.
Oh no, another cameo by the Flash. What do they think this is?
Yeah, dude, Ezra Miller, man.
Can just pop in for a second and then disappear? What?
Fantastic beast, bro.
David Ayer. I know that's not the most subtle little foreshadowing, but come on. Who's the real monster eating her rare steak?
Right.
Which, of course, is...
God, rare steak.
Monster Shadow.
Gross.
I'm sorry. I know this comes up on the list of what were they thinking pretty often, but these text intros are awesome.
Yeah, I feel those, man. I like those a lot.
Choice and flow, and they're really comic booky. Also, Incubus currently in a jar and Pulse with a 3 handicap are great little additions you probably didn't notice in the first viewing that are evidence that this film doesn't take itself too seriously.
Right. God, Jai Courtney is so funny in this movie.
The United States right out of the Oval Office.
That sounds more like something Zod would have done. Wait a minute. Glad to see Annalise has gotten her drinking problem under control enough to give this presentation. And another thing that sets this
God, that
apart
shit's
is
so
within the
creepy,
DCEU
bro.
Is some actual creepy horror style imagery.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that transformation though, so fucking sick.
I ain't no weapon. I'm a dying piece.
Yeah, I respected him for that though.
Turning over a new leaf.
Fucking best scene in the movie, bro.
Dang it, I love this demonstration.
Yeah, same.
Smith's excitement when
It's
he
fucking
realizes
great.
the guns are functional, and then the over-the-shoulder perfect accuracy
Yeah.
when we shoot with him, and then these glowing red perfect shot
Yeah, it's
circles?
insane.
What a scene!
Donnell can't come. Donnell's
Nah, he's out.
I know not everyone is going to love Holder, Conway, RoboCop.
I liked him, dude.
I
Joel
find
could have
it
been sick.
thoroughly entertaining. Go watch The Killing. That is all. Couple of things here. What sets the Joker's involvement in motion is that Harley didn't end up in Arkham, their usual place where they're constantly escaping. That's why he's depressed right now.
Right.
He thought he'd leave her in the car, Batman would save her, and he'd go break her out. He may have even been contemplating suicide, thinking he'd lost her. But now he has to get creative. Also, onesies? Was Harley pregnant?
They send you to this swamp in Louisiana.
Yeah, I really like this guy's performance, man.
I know there was some confusion over this scene. It moves fast, and it might seem like a flashback, but it's just the Joker buying Griggs' debt so he can blackmail him into giving Harley the phone.
It's just to move the plot forward. That's all it is.
He uses the phone later. In fact, pretty much everything the Joker does outside of flashbacks is in the service of finding and rescuing Harley.
Every time fucking Jared Leto's on the screen, bro, it's so tense.
It's one of those nitpicky questions.
Love that.
What if you're dreaming and say her name accidentally? What if you try to say enchantment but cough halfway through and it sort of sounds like Ness?
Right.
This answers that. Enchantress will use whatever loophole she can. All the effects surrounding the Enchantress are believable and give her an aura that you just don't want to be around.
Yeah, she's mad sketchy.
That teeters on horror jump scare.
Yeah, this is some horror type shit.
Comic book movies, except Spawn, I guess. All right, so it's a blue beam to space, but it's got this spinning stuff all around it, and Incubus is tentacle-killing NPCs. I'm entertained.
Same.
So what's the deal with Scott Eastwood? He's not actually Clint's son, right? He's a clone, a la Boba Fett.
A la Boba Fett.
Huh? What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? I'm kidding. Jeez. That's not what they really said.
Honesty.
Hey, 1 minute I'm playing mahjong with me nana.
Shut up. You were caught robbing a diamond exchange.
Oh, boss, what?
Jai Courtney.
I'm telling you, bro.
I may have been exaggerating about my Batfleck prediction, but I've always loved Jai. Here he is with one of the best performances in this film.
I've literally never liked him, but he is so funny in this.
Montage set to Eminem is the fastest way to start looking dope.
This is Katana. She's got my back. Her sword traps the souls of its victims.
That little exposition dump gets torn apart. Why is she here? Why does she have Flag's back? Did you really need to just tell us her deal?
Right.
What every single person that makes fun of this fails to mention is that it's not about Katana. It was a punchline setup. The Suicide Squad doesn't care. That's the whole point.
Should I kill them?
And Harley turned it into a joke.
Love your perfume. What is that? The stench of death?
Does anyone look
God, her accent's all over the place.
And Diablo isn't even paying attention. Now, if you don't think Harley's funny, that's another story. I do, so it's but seriously, they're all more upset about Croc puking. Two things here. I love that the second they hit the ground, everyone is immediately trying to escape. It's exactly what they would be doing. And the second is Boomerang tricking Slipknot into being his patsy to test the water. The squad's first fight together establishes that baddies will kill you and showcases each member's unique fighting style and talents in a fun way. Saving the guy who holds your life in his hands.
God, love this scene. All the Deadshot scenes are fucking great. It's because Will Smith's the man, that's why.
This might be the most awesome and heroic scene in the film. You have to love Deadshot taking control and showing off his ridiculous skills.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Now that's love. I mean, crazy.
Somewhere else.
Brutal.
Yeah, she's nutcase.
Going so crazy, I think you're insane. Go.
Love that line. It's from the comics, but I think it goes the other way around normally.
But there's actually more to their story that they're purposefully unraveling.
I'm pretty sure Harley says that to him. Can't remember.
And it's definitely something that should have been left in. It legitimizes Harley's previous profession as she psychoanalyzes everyone.
Right.
It shows her even darker side while she uses those skills to mess with people just because she's upset.
I'm
Yeah.
dying to pry apart and spit in.
And we get a little more Katana sans mask.
Love this song, dude.
So Harley actually has some pretty sweet moves. Saving and protecting the guy with his finger on the button again. Yep.
Yeah, same.
I'd like to talk about something that comes up in negative reviews. Plot structure. You have to understand that Harley's story is told in flashbacks throughout the film because she's being developed slowly to tie into our main theme of love. Up until this moment, she just seemed crazy. Now we know that the Joker loves her back, and it gives her this moment with Deadshot to propel his arc forward. The structure is well planned out.
Yeah, this swan dive.
Everything about this scene is spectacular.
Yeah, best scene in the trailer for sure.
To the pan out of swirling insanity bonding these two.
God, the song goes so good too.
She takes an average person,
Studio made it
turns
rain
into
with
a
that
soldier,
fucking
can take
music
a
budget,
headshot
bro.
and still fight. It's an instant army.
The ever evil Waller is always looking for an angle, even in the face of Armageddon.
Professor, could you pick up the
And that's what he needed this guy for, in case you were confused by this scene previously. Heart of gold for Flag, since he could have just shot her right there, showing us whose team he's really on now, and a heart of gold for Deadshot as well.
I missed.
Genuine moment.
I love the
between two
relish
trying
that
to
he says
understand
that
love.
with.
A moment with so much unsaid but implied, such as "Thanks for not shooting me" and "Sorry your lover blew up." Another scene that gets flack for messing up the pacing, but it's a pivotal scene.
Right, you need this seed, man.
With his admission of guilt. Now we understand why he doesn't want to fight, but it also sets up his
Right.
final sacrifice.
Oh no.
Something that really sets Suicide Squad apart. It's
Never
not
liked
just
that
asking
line.
The same questions other comic book movies ask. Great power, great responsibility, yada yada. It's an examination of how to exist and come to terms with the evil you've done.
Right.
They only touch on it briefly because this is ultimately an origin story.
Yeah, you are, brother.
Self-confidence and compliments.
You've
Gotta love Boomerang. Alright, I'll take an anti-hero walk with Stephen Price's triumphant score playing over top. You can't tell me not to smile.
Yeah.
Get a drink sometime.
Timed courting. Enchantress and Incubus aren't the most complex villains.
No.
They didn't really need to be. This movie's about
They're
getting
kinda
a
just
Suicide Squad together.
there
over
to
a common
make
goal.
bullet
Visually,
fodder.
I think they're awesome. Her mind control powers play with our theme and test each of our anti-heroes so that they have to come together. And it's not like they're boring. Ancient magical dudes are upset they were locked in jars for millennia, taking their wrath out on the technology-obsessed humans. Remember this?
Normals is setting on the dryer.
Turns out that's what she actually wants. And I'm starting to think she was pregnant.
Yo,
I love
she
the
was
difference
deaf
between Flag and
pregnant.
Harley's visions.
God, when you
Harley's
see
crazy.
Jared
Her vision
Leto
is crystal
without
clear
all the
because it's easier
fucking
for her to
face
believe
paint and
this
shit,
reality,
you're just
shown by
like,
how she
what
almost
the
walks out.
fuck?
Then Flag's vision is distorted and blurry, like waking from a dream, since
Right.
he has a better grasp on reality.
Yeah,
Let me show you what
it's
I
one
really am.
interpretation for sure.
Yep. Brutal. 2 self-sacrifices. Slow motion saving your new friend.
Sorry.
Apology win. A little defensive descending. Yes, Enchantress is pretty much invincible. How
Right.
could they ever beat her? But
Exactly.
remember this? She wants to be worshipped. That's her entire plan. Destroy the machine so everyone will bow down to her.
And serve beneath my feet.
You messed with my friend.
Pride before the fall. Enchantress's last resort effort. Realizing she missed the most important thing about Deadshot, thinking his hatred for the bad initially superseded his love for his daughter. But it's
God,
precisely his
that
love
scene
for his
gets me
daughter that makes
every
him pull the
time
trigger.
seeing that.
Teamwork. Hug it. Honesty.
I'm not a hugger,
Come on.
man.
Like in a building, and you shoot a man down the street.
I love this
That's
scene,
how
man.
far the bullet actually goes.
Math. Murder lesson.
God, kids are so adorable.
What if you dead?
And there it is. What he didn't believe he was worthy of in the
Yeah,
end.
full circle, baby, full circle.
So, Queen is always a win, even if they did cut it way short. Well, the Joker's not going to be overlooked.
You should shut it down. My friends and I'll do it for you.
Batfleck, bro.
Justice League, the Suicide Squad.
Oh, that would
2024.
be so epic,
Two
dude.
dark movies in a row. I don't want you people out there to think I'm some kind of evil worshiper. I like good guys and light and nice things like puppies and rainbows. I promise the next 2 movies will be
Same.
lighthearted and happy. But I do enjoy Breaking Bad and Dexter. There is something compelling about anti-heroes or complex villains.
Right.
One of the most interesting things this film plays with is the contrast between Waller and the bad guys. It's a flip of typical tropes. Even though it hammers it home a little heavy at times,
Right.
Waller's supposed to be the
God,
good
that
guy,
scene
yet
fucking
she's
sketched
incapable
me
of
out. I did
sympathy or
not
compassion.
see that
She
coming.
retells the villain's tragic backstories without a hint of empathy. In a film about
Yeah,
bad
she don't
guy
give a
heroes,
fuck.
I guess the flip should be expected. One of the biggest questions that comes up in reviews is why the Suicide Squad?
Right.
Why not send Batman, Wonder Woman, and the Flash? The reason is that Waller needed some expendable goons she could control since she created the entire
Can't wait
cast.
for Justice League and the Batfleck
First
movie.
mission was rescuing her, where she planned to execute a bunch of underlings, solidifying her ruthless status. Do you think Batfleck would have been on board for that? Suicide Squad is less of a comic book ensemble film, though it does end up there. It's more about the individual character stories. That's the reason the majority of the film is one day or one evening. To try to introduce these characters in a way other than flashbacks would have made the movie feel jumbled and all over the place. Maybe you think it's jumbled and all over the place anyway, but that's the reason it was done this way. Deadshot, Flag, Harley, and Diablo to a slightly lesser extent are the main characters. Boomerang is comic relief, Slipknot was thrown in there just so Flag could prove he was serious and that there was an actual
Yeah.
threat to the squad's lives. The rest of the characters were just there for Flash and to add to the supernatural element of the DC universe. And maybe add side character continuity for other solo films? We'll see, I
Right,
guess.
maybe.
The main 4 are all equally responsible for illustrating the primary theme of this film. Each is a damaged person that either doesn't understand or believe in love, doesn't believe love can exist in the same heart as one with so many transgressions, or is doing everything they can to atone for failing the ones they love. Each character draws out their own arc and learns something about love in themselves.
Yeah.
Deadshot is the biggest arc in realizing the importance of his love for his
It's because
daughter.
Will Smith's
What
the
leads him
fucking
to
man. That's why
sincerely
he
empathize
has
with
the biggest
Flag
arc.
After he admits to the nature of his relationship with June. Diablo's story is the most straightforward with his guilt over killing his family, but I found him to be an interesting character mixed in amongst the baddies. He's
Yeah.
the only redeemable character right from the beginning, of this day at least, who sacrifices himself when he realizes he has a chance to save the only family he has now. Harley Quinn's love is the most complex and is maybe a bit closer to
Yeah,
Stockholm
to say the
Syndrome.
least.
But the Joker literally broke her brain. Your perception is your reality. She loves him. Once she passes his test of fitting into the idea of the Joker, he's willing to bring her along for the ride, and ends up risking everything to save her. The reason he's barely more than a cameo in this movie is because to serve this story, he can only be Harley's origin.
Yeah.
Had he been a bigger part, he would have overshadowed everyone just by being the Joker. Which brings me to Jared Leto's Joker. His performance is going to come down to personal preference. I give him credit for going for it.
He's got a little Jim Carrey in him in some of these fucking
Part of the
scenes,
problem with
man.
this Joker incarnation is the way they're presenting it. He's not meant to have a backstory or any solid motivations. He just
Right.
kind of is.
Yeah.
He says himself, he's a concept, just a
Yeah,
compilation.
he's an
of crazy,
idea,
really.
right?
And as great as both Nicholson and Ledger's Jokers were, would you have believed either of them could have a girlfriend? Maybe Nicholson, but
Nah,
definitely
fam.
not Ledger. He's too busy watching the world burn. Leto's Joker is a gangster and the type that would absolutely do some of the more insanely ridiculous things comic Joker has done. I feel the need to say that you're not an idiot if you didn't like this movie. I'd never
Yeah.
claim you just didn't get it. There's not a whole lot of complex stuff to get. The themes are there if you want to look for them. If you didn't enjoy this film, that's totally fine. But the rest of you that did, please do not.
Love that Swan Dive,
You are
fam.
not alone.
Great form.
Personally, I rank this film above a couple MCU films.
Yeah,
Don't
same.
be fooled into believing this film is objectively bad. Now, don't get me wrong. Does it follow a typical 3-act structure? Is every performance Oscar-worthy? Is the storytelling completely coherent at all times? Do any of those things matter when judging a film for enjoyment value?
No,
Well,
they
you can
don't.
obviously debate me on this. I do not believe something created for entertainment can be judged objectively.
Right.
Kind of the point of this channel, but I digress. Will Smith easily gets the best moments, and he Will Smiths as good as he ever does. Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn. Her accent is all over the place, and she really nailed the character all the way from calm, collected Quinzel to bonkers Quinn. I know a lot of you hated Joel Kinnaman's Flag, but
I like Joel Kinnaman, man.
Killing is amazing. Seriously, go watch it. And I found him. To
I'll
be a
put it
fine
on my
fellow
to-do
Quinzel.
list, brother.
Aside from that, Cara Delevingne, Delevingne.
Delavine? I
She
think
was
it's
fun as the
Delavine.
witch, but proved she could rein it in as Moon. My biggest complaint is really just give us more. Make
Right.
it a 3-hour movie. The extended cut gave us a little more relationship building between Flag and Moon, and also delved into Harley and Joker's origin a bit more too. So some slight improvements. Did it need to be a world-ending event? Well, all I can say is that the comic book movie world is an unforgiving climate right now.
Yeah.
So much to compete with, so many people to please, from the comic book nerds to the general audience members to the critics who often decide the fate of your box office return. And that's not even counting the people behind the scenes trying to stick to a ridiculous schedule put forth by the studios. So enjoy what you enjoy and don't worry about the rest. Don't be swayed by critical opinion.
I
There is a
love
reason
that
films
scene.
fall into cult classic status. I'm not saying Suicide Squad is definitely headed there, but it's a perfect example of fan and critic disagreement. In the meantime, we have Wonder Woman and Justice League to look forward to. And there's no way the critics will be unfair to those two films, right? Right?
I think
That
Khal
can't be
Drogo
done
backed
now.
out of Aquaman
Right? Whatever. I'll be here. You hear me?
from Game of Thrones. I'm pretty sure he didn't. Alright.
Please don't.
Let's talk about it for a second here. This video is getting long, but let's just talk about it for a quick second. Alright, here's a couple of my thoughts here that I think about Suicide Squad and the video. He's definitely right when he talk about how spoiled we are as a movie-going community, because we have so many comic book movies from all the MCU films and now some of the DC films that we're getting that you can't really compare them, but we all want to compare them, especially DC and Marvel, because Marvel has such a lighter tone that if you try to compare them, they're just like apples and oranges, man. Like Civil War, for example, is very light and fluffy, and the stakes are very low, and it's very funny, and this is very dark, and the stakes are very high, and you know, so that's where you get the spoiled audience coming from. So everybody wants, and then we get the bandwagon going where like everybody hates Batman v Superman. So Suicide Squad comes out. Okay, well that's terrible, and now everybody hates it, right? And that's one of the things that I fucking hate it, man. I hate that. Like, you got to go into a film with an open mind and make a decision yourself, not from what I say or from whatever anybody else says, you know. Come up with it for yourself, man. If you still hate it, then that's cool, man. You hate it, you know, that's fine. But let your opinion be your opinion. So that's one thing that I always never liked about divisive films, and this is a very divisive film. For Suicide Squad, I enjoyed the movie, you know. I like he was talking about the extended cut. I'm a little upset about it because the extended cut's 15 minutes longer. Like, to just put it in the regular movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's the point of cutting that out of the movie to save 15 minutes? And it's all because they're shooting for that 2-hour and 15-minute runtime or whatever it is, you know, that they're all shooting for that same time. So if you liked the video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. I got a Rogue One review coming out tomorrow. If you want to see more reaction videos, let me know. I don't really do reactions, but leave requests down below. If you liked the video, make sure you drop a like, okay? Also follow me on Twitter, _booknerd. Links will be in the description below with the original video as well. And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Later.